Alright, so I just wanted to make this video quick. I'm about to try and get this all wired up and working, hopefully. So I'm not exactly sure if you have any specific requests as far as what type of phones you'll be using and what lines you want to be lit. Because you could technically, if you're trying to get a 10 or 20 button set working, you could punch down different lines to light up if you wanted. Usually I would just do the, 1 through so-and-so. I wouldn't mix it up usually, but then I'm trying to look what these are. This is really dusty. That looks like the Ring Common, so they actually had common audible ringing. If you're not familiar with it, basically when the line cards get an incoming call, they'll trigger the interrupter, which is here at the top. And these are all interrupter cards right now, but I'll get them with actual line cards. They trigger the interrupter and it makes the lamp wink or flash for the incoming call. It's a slow flash. And then the line card will also trigger interrupter to put an audible output. You could technically just put the bell for the phone across tip and ring for that line. So that's one way to do it if you want. And the other option is this one actually has the ringing generator, so this is actually enough power to get the bells to ring. And I think it's 42 or 32. One of these pins down here is actually the 105 volts AC from the ringing generator. So if you ever want to test bells from a phone, you can just hook it directly up to one of these with alligator clips. From there to ground, so that would be lamp ground there, A1. Anyway, the interrupters, you can tell them to output either the ringing generator power or 18 volts AC by moving that little header that you see right there on the pins. You can unplug it and move it over, because it basically has a common pin in the middle, and then if it's bridged over one way, it's the ringer generator, and then the other way is the 18 volts AC. And then that will have the line cards output either the 18 volts AC or the 105 volts when the line is called, when one of the lines is called. And that output is on ring ground and ring common, which this block is really dusty, but I'll try and get it cleaned up because there are designations here that you can barely see that are written down. So you can see right there is ring common and ring ground, RG and RC. And I'll also send you the documentation for this. Anyway, first things first is I'm just gonna, number one, get the power supply refurbished, because right now this doesn't even have a fuse and there's no AC wire going in, because the ITT 601 key systems were infamous for using a horrible rubber that dry rots. I don't remember if I told you about this before, but they're just garbage. And basically, if these stay in service, they blow up. So, all of the ones that I've sold, I refurbished the plug where I put in a brand new cable that's meant for like computers or something, and it's a 3-prong cord. And normally I just would put it on one of these plastic plugs so it actually plugs in where it used to. But for this one, I don't have any left, so I'm going to have to solder directly onto the computer board, which shouldn't be too big of a deal. But unfortunately, those plugs are like a unique thing, and sometimes they're just missing. And I remember the guy I got these from was actually wanting to buy a plug off of me. And he's like, "Here, if you don't want it, I'll buy the plug, just the plug for the AC cord." So, yeah. So anyway, I'll get that soldered on there, and I'll get the power supply going. But yeah, I guess if you have any special requests though, as far as if you want all the lines to ring, because what I did on the most recent key system I just sold is I had the bell wires, which is yellow slate yellow pair on the cables, connected to CA and LG right here. So the common audible and lamp ground, but lamp ground is the same as AI or any ground. They're all common. So I just connected the bell to lamp ground and CA, and then I paired all of the outputs onto CA, and then I put LG common to the ring ground. So then whenever any of the line cards would ring, the bells would ring in the phones. But you could configure this to do buzzers, or you could do specifically, like, I just want line 1 to ring on one phone and line 2 to ring on another, or have line 1 ring for just one phone and have line 2, 3, 4, and 5 ring for another phone. So that's, if you just want to let me know what kind of configuration you're thinking or what you'd like, then I can go ahead and get that punched down.